For them to, you know what I'm saying, for niggas to leave them women, these black queens, with these
Yeah.
babies. So you had to go through that
Well,
struggle.
you're very right because guess what? Back then, these young men didn't want no goddamn babies, and the man said to me, he was a young boy himself. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
no fucking kids.
Right.
Oh, you got to get rid of this baby. No. And what the ultimate man do? First thing black men say, it ain't mine.
Yeah.
You
Back
know,
then, that was the
I'm
norm.
like,
That was
you
the
know,
norm. It really
okay.
was.
So you're going through that. You know, all the emotions mixed because I'm young. And I said, Mom, I don't want this baby. I don't want to have no baby. I'm too young. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the ultimate black family? You lay down. You going to have this baby. That's the
Yeah.
first thing, you know, back then, the black people. I just think, back then, they just,
It was, you
they
gotta
mom.
understand. You gotta
They,
understand something, Big Fifty. Back then, it was like, it was by design to split up these black families, right?
yes.
So you know what I'm saying. So that's why it was so normal at the time. It's definitely not a good thing, but I know
So
you
normal.
turned that weakness into a strength. Did you
Yeah.
not? So tell me about how you knew you had to get a new. Now we know school ain't for you. Now you got to get it because you got this baby you got to feed. So you talk to
Yes.
me about how you decided, hey, I got to go out here and get it.
Well, I knew 15 having a baby, 16 I had the baby, you know?
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there thinking like what is my life going to be now?
Right.
So I remember it's funny. I remember hanging out with some friends. Now remember I'm in a diverse neighborhood.
Yes.
So the white people like, "Oh, let's go for some friends' house this and this." So I goes to this white man house with them and he was kind of, well off. And it was a suburb area. And I remember him liking me out of the couple black girls and the rest of the white girls there. So I didn't know what he was really into. I really couldn't make it out. See, this is the part that I had never told.
Hmm.
I really couldn't make it out.
Okay.
So I used to go in this refrigerator because I used to always give me big money all the time. So I go in this refrigerator. I used to see all these little brown paper bags, like one, two, three, on his shelves. And I used to always ask him, "What is in these bags?" "Oh, honey, don't you worry. I'm young, so I don't know nothing about nothing, the game or anything."
Yeah.
But I used to see all these little brown bags, but I never knew what they were taped
Right.
down.
Hmm.
So of course, as I getting a little older and I'm getting a little bit more knowledge, I knew what it was then. But he didn't. It wasn't about that. It was about me coming over there, and he was I guess, a S&M. He wanted me to whoop him. And I
Oh,
was a
okay.
young girl. So I was
Yeah.
like, it was fun to me. I get to hit this motherfucker with a fly swatter and come home with $2,000-3,000 that I really am scared to come home with the money. So I goes around to my friend house and I'm hiding the money because now my mom gonna ask, where are you getting this money from? So it got to be normal to me. Well, I'm gonna go over here and beat Bob's ass. So that's all he want.
Right. And
But
you
I'm
getting
not
paid.
knowing.
And you getting paid. Shit.
Yes, and I'm getting paid and then lots of money. He got to the point where he'd be like, "Go, just get what you need out the drawer," and I'd be like, "Oh God, I can't take all this money home,"
Right.
you know. So as time progressed and I'm growing up, I knew then what was all in that bag, and I was like, "Damn, if I would have knew that then."
Yeah, yeah. Do you
That's
think
what I
that
was
that
thinking.
do you, Big Fitty? Do you think that kind of set the tone for you moving forward, knowing that listen, man, I can get, I can use my influence to get paid. Is that something that impacted you?
Yeah, that's what that was one of them because I started in my mind saying, "Damn, I wish I would have knew that then. I would have cut into old boy." Like
Ah,
shit.
talk about it.
I would have cut into him like, well, how do you do this? Because I'm that type of person. If I want to know something, I'm sure gonna ask.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, what you do? How you do this? That's the same way when you've seen the movie. I'm a hard head one though, and
Hmm.
when I started growing up in the streets, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Me, I don't listen to anything.
Nah, you
I'm gonna
don't.
try it first.
You don't.
Whereas, but knock me on my ass or not, I'm gonna
Yeah,
try
for
it.
real. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out Detroit, CJ in the fucking building too. But like, so talk to me about now we move we fast forward a little bit, right? Now your
Yep.
child gets a little older, and now you start to learn how to get to the bag.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm learning to get to the bag.
did you ever have a 9 to 5, or was it always
Oh
that
my
street living?
God. You know, you asking some questions here.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. See, people never ask that either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now,
Baby, we've been
one,
waiting on you.
okay. I had a job for maybe 12 days.
mm.
Okay. And reason why that, okay, I never forget a friend of mine said, you need to find a job. It's a job called Technicolor. I said, what is that? Well, they make VH1 VHS tapes or something like that back
Okay.
then.
Okay.
Those VH1 VHS tapes or whatever, them big tapes used to go on the TV,
Yeah.
watch the videos.
Yeah.
So she said they make those. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember going into this job, and I think I was working my ass off. I was working so hard to me, and then the supervisor would get on me. You moving too slow. You moving too slow. I said, well, damn. So I get a little faster. Then
Right.
he tells me, you moving too fast now. So
See, you see
at the
that?
I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, he's not gonna be satisfied. He's not satisfied with me. I'm moving too fast, then I'm moving too slow. I don't know what the fuck it is. So I remember doing my work too fast. And then he said, well, you gotta sweep the floor now. I said, well, that's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got through. I'm gonna sit down and chill because I'm finished. No,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta keep working. You gotta sweep the floor.
Right.
So I swept the floor. And
That's
then it
oh,
ticked me off
yeah.
when I went to sit down. He said the floor not swept good enough. So me being me, they had a little picnic table where people sit there and eat their lunch. I stood on top of the table
Mm-hmm.
and pulled my pants down, told him to kiss my motherfucking ass. And I'm leaving, motherfucker. That's what I did. And I left. And my friend was so, I will never forget Pookie face. Oh my God, you crazy. And I left off and I never ever wanted a job again. And I knew then I gotta get the bag.
Oh no, most definitely. Because you know what?
Because I felt like he was slaving me at this
Yeah, he
young
did.
age,
Yes, he
and,
did.
and nothing I did was good enough for him. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I say right today, I don't know how people can work for people. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I never had a job ever again in my life.
No, I look. I listen. Whatever choices that you had to make to get to the next level, that's told to me. I feel like you had to do what you had to do because first of all, you had your baby that needed to eat, and you needed to eat
Yeah.
too. And nobody wants to live in squalor, and nobody should have to take motherfucking orders from anybody if they could go get it on their own.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
especially when you mistreat my motherfucking ass, you
Of course.
mistreated me. You dogging me out now. I
No,
felt like I was dogged, and at that time I said, and I told my friend Pookie, I said, I'm never ever gonna fucking work again in my life.
no, I get it.
And then, hey,
Was so what?
I,
So that was the point. So I'm
that's
guessing
what
that was the
that
point when
drove me right there.
right there. So that's where I want to go. This the intersection we at now. It's the fork in the road, right? It's like I'm going left and I'm either 9 to 5 and then I'm working for another person the rest of my life, or I'm going this way and I'm gonna make my own way. So talk to me about how you made that connection and you moved into the underworld. I mean, that's what it was, you know.
Well, what happened is this. I remember my stepsister. She had moved in the suburbs, and she said, I can't pay all these bills by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should move in with me, leave mama and move in with me. You ain't got no job. We can hustle. I said, well, what kind of hustle? She said, we'll figure something out. I said, damn, this is my sister Kim. I'm like, okay, well, I went home one day and told mom, I gotta go because I'm not gonna sit around in your house and I got this baby and I'm not doing anything. She said, well, you go ahead and leave, bitch. Just like that. She said, you leave, bitch, but you're gonna leave this baby right here. You do what you got to do.
Right.
I said, oh, okay, well, that's gonna give me a little leeway. I'm young. So, me and my sister, we got a place.
Mm-hmm.
So, we started going out a lot. So the guy started calling us salt and pepper. Cause I'm dark and she light, right? So then people like to flock to me. I'm a people person.
Okay.
So a lot of girls like to flock to me because I know a lot of guys. I know all the men. So it was times where the girls would be over to my house because they know the guy's gonna come over. So I'm saying, I told my sister Kim, I said, all these bitches like to come over here and hang out with me. We're gonna start doing something different. She's like what? I said, we're gonna fucking make these bitches sell pussy. She was like, oh no, now you I said, no, this is just what these niggas wanna buy it. And see back then that's when the 80s kicking in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Men love to buy pussy. I'm sorry.
I
Guess
mean,
what?
no,
I'm
it is what it
sorry.
is. It's the world's oldest
They ain't gonna
profession.
talk about what they pay for
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
when they find foot. They said it
Hmm.
ain't tricking. It's not tricking
We
if you
paying
got
for it
it.
regardless, baby girl. We
Right,
paying for it
right,
regardless.
right. It's not tricking if you got it.
Facts.
So that's what happened.
So
I
I mean,
start.
did that ever? I do have to ask you this. I mean, did you ever during the time when you were a madam, because you were a full fledged madam? I did the research. At the
Yes,
time that
definitely.
you were a madam, I mean, did you ever look at it and be like, damn, like I'm a female and I'm putting him out, or was it just hey, I got to stay focused?
No, it's just that I thought I needed money, and I always look back at this too. When I was a little kid, I used to see a lady named Gloria Kelly.
Hmm.
And I used to walk down the street to go to the store, and she got her big afro, her tall thigh boots, and her little mini skirt on, and her bags, and all her fancy cars. And I said, "Ooh, shit, I want to be just like Gloria Cal." And I used to always tell her that. She'd be like, "No, you don't want to be like me." I was like, "Why not?" So when I started growing up, she started telling me why I didn't want to be like her. I said, "I want to be just like you." So I knew then when I got in that house and these girls like to flock to me, I knew then I was going to be a madam. And I set the tone, how my heart was in it, my mind was in it, my soul was in it, and I became it.
Now I gotta ask
Okay.
you this. I gotta ask you this, Big Fifty. Now, did you ever have to smack one of your bitches? Just keep it a buck with me.
No doubt, no doubt. Smack. I even tired of
I'm not
smack.
glorifying it, but I mean that's the
But you
lifestyle.
can't glorify it, but shit, I tie the bitch up. Bitch, you got this motherfucker. You know, on some real shit.
No,
I ain't gonna be none of that, bitch.
I
you
get it. Now,
know.
okay. On the flip side of that, now did you ever have to run down on a John that mistreated one of your girls?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been plenty times. Me and I mean, this is crazy. I remember one time this guy had called and he had wanted one of the ladies in the house. I'm not gonna say her name. Poor thing, she's still around.
Mm-hmm.
But she's doing good. She's working and everything
Oh, that's
now.
good.
She's doing really good for herself. But she was young and wanted to hang out with us, and when she had kids and she wanted to make her way, so we let her stay there. So
Okay.
we called this guy. He said he wanted to, take her out. We usually just have our house in our house. So we
Right.
was like, well, we think it's okay that she go with him. I looked up one day. It was she had left and went with him. So that morning, I heard some commotion outside. They were in the van. The guys took and threw the bitch out on the grass.
Oh wow.
I'm like, well, damn, what the fuck did you do? Did you rob the niggas? What happened?
Yeah.
She was like, nah. It was like two guys, and I did what I was supposed to do, and they didn't want to pay me.
Mm-hmm.
And they threw, and I said, that's why they threw you out here on the grass. It was so embarrassing. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I was there for 10 years, and the neighbors clapped when I left. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Talk
they
about
all
it.
came outside and clapped when I was back.
Yeah.
Okay, because when he did that, then I had to show my hand. Like you
Yeah.
can't do this, dog. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I sent this bitch to you. So what I look like?
Yeah.
So
So
I got
yeah.
my brothers and them and my boys and them, and we had to go and holler at him.
No, I totally get. I mean, look, the business is the business. Did
It's a
being
business,
coming
and you're
up
gonna give me the money that you didn't get a bitch. You're gonna
that's
give up
that
that
now
money.
that and then some. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
that's
so
just how it was back then. You know
w-
what I'm saying?
were
Everybody got no time to
were
play
there
no
legal
games.
issues? Were there legal issues back then, or did the police kind of turn a blind eye to it, or were you able to kind of move how you wanted to back then?
No, not really, because the
Mm,
neighbors were on to what was going on in that house. Okay, because not only that began, the crack life came about.
okay.
So the crack life came in them eras.
Yeah.
So everybody, I'm. That's when I say, shit, but fuck, we're gonna sell pussy and crack out of here.
Right.
So, and
That's
you got
right.
these
You was right in
black
the middle of that
clubs,
era. That's right.
you got
Mm-hmm.
these black clubs, and I never forget they had a um the black club leader was walking down my street,
Mm-hmm.
and she had these